up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. Today you are joining me in sunny Southern California. I am just about to drop off a couple of cargo trailers that you will see here in a second that I have up here on my step deck. But I am making this video at the request of the place that I picked them up from, which was, I think it's Alcom or Alcom, or I'm not sure exactly how you pronounce it, but up by Missoula, Montana. But they asked me to put out the video because apparently they've had issues with people not knowing how to strap or chain down cargo trailers. And by cargo trailers, we're talking about these enclosed cargo trailers, you know, all these big white ones. So these are the ones I have on my trailer right here behind me. So I think the front one's a 16 foot and then the back one's a 12 foot or something. But anyway, so we're going to go down, or we're going to go over how to chain them down and strap them down so you guys don't damage them. So they've had people throwing straps and chains, I guess, over the top of the trailers, and that is a big no-no. So the last thing you want to do is throw anything over the top of a cargo trailer. All of your strapping and chaining goes over the axles or over the front right here. So let's just go over it right now before I put my gloves on. I don't know why I was putting my gloves on. So the procedure is pretty much the same as far as I'm concerned on the way I haul any trailer, period. So I usually do a chain pulling forward and a chain pulling backwards. This is the first time that I've had them have me build up a bridge and have one floating like this, you know, to where it's completely up on my dunnage, because I don't have a bridge. So I just stacked dunnage up and then they just stacked it on there. But if you had a bridge, you know, you could use your bridge. But so essentially we made this bridge, and then we put a couple more pieces of dunnage up there, and so it's completely floating. And so one of their biggest requests was to make sure that these chains on this one were pulling frontwards and backwards, not pulling down. That way we're not pulling down on the frame and bending the trailer. And so that's what we went with on this. But that goes on the same with any of the trailers. So as you can see, the back one back here, you know, you want a chain pulling backwards and a chain pulling forward. So usually the front axle, you know, I have a chain pulling forward, as you can see, and then the rear axle I have a chain pulling backwards. And then if it's single axle, I usually just, you know, do a chain the same way, but there'll be just two chains on one axle essentially. But, and then as far as your chain goes, up in here, so run the chain on that side up behind the leaf spring over the axle, and then I just looped it around the axle a couple of times. You don't necessarily have to do that. You could just run the chain straight across, drop it down the back side of the leaf spring on this side, and you know, underneath the axle or whatever, and then out. That way, if it's on the outside of the leaf spring on both sides of the trailer, then it keeps the trailer from shifting side to side. And as long as it's on the back side of the axle and pulling forward, then you're good. So you want your chain on the outside of the axle or sorry, outside of the leaf spring on both sides, and then the back side of the axle if you're pulling forward on this side, and then same thing on this one. You want it on the outside of the leaf springs, and then as you can see, we're wrapped around the back side of the axle, pulling backwards. So, and then as far as the tongue goes, the tongue's pretty easy. I stick a 2x4 underneath the tongues here because they take this little wheel off so it doesn't roll. But and then that doesn't scratch up the aluminum and bind it all to hell. But this is pretty simple. You just throw a strap. When there's 3 sections like this, I just loop the strap up and through and then tighten it down, and that keeps the tongue or the front of the trailer from doing this kind of stuff. So, but it's all pretty simple. Just remember, do not throw anything over the top of the trailers. You will damage the damn trailer. Do not throw anything over the top of the trailers. So with that being said, this one is the same way, as you can see. So the strap here is looped up over that, and then I threw this little 2-inch strap just to hold that dunnage in place, is really all it's here for. Another way you can do this one, if you want to hold the front down, you can use their chains on this front one, and you can actually use their chain and then just use a binder and latch your binder on here and use their chain, and then tighten the binder down, one on each side, and then just throw one chain on the back axle. You can do that as well, but that's not how I did this one. So, but anyways guys, kind of a shorter video. There's not too much to them. They just asked me, you know, because they seen my YouTube stickers on the side of the truck, and they just said, hey, you know, if you do videos, will you do a quick video on the way that you throw chains and straps, and, you know, let people know not to throw chains and straps over the top of the cargo trailers. That way at least your audience knows better, you know. So told them, yeah, sure, I'll do it, you know, at some point before I drop the trailers off. And apparently I procrastinated until I got here and I'm dropping the trailers off. So, but anyways, great company to haul for. They're out of Bonner, Montana, right next to Missoula. It was Alcom. So if you're ever in Missoula, Montana looking for a load, I went through Streamline Logistics to get this load. Yeah, all of them treated me really good, and we're here dropping it off now. So no issues, no problems, and we're going to move on to the next load. So with that being said, I appreciate you all for watching, and I will see you all on the next video.